Park. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Sammy.
Hi.
How was today?
Exhausting.
Really? You'll get used to it.
I left the house at 7:15 this morning, and I got home literally 5 minutes ago.
That's a long day.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
And you get to get up early tomorrow. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I want to go ahead and start because I want to end right at 9:30 so that these don't drag on. So excited to have this group going and that you guys all decided to participate. I think amazing things are going to happen here. So I just want to talk about hopefully just a couple of things, and then I want to hear from you. One of the things that we're going to try to follow while we're doing this is the tracker. And I think all of this, all of us have, it's Elisa's phone. You're making noise, Lisa. Okay, so anyway, I think everybody has a copy of the tracker, and if you need to print more copies, it's in the file section. But I want us to try to go through this every day. But what I want to free you from is if you don't get a check mark in every single box, it's not the end of the world. So just try to use this as a learning tool about all the things that we're supposed to do. And if you don't do them all every day, that's fine. Take a picture of it and share it. If you take a picture of it and it's blank and you share it, that's not the end of the world either. But I think it's a good idea to have the accountability to have to like fess up, you know, I didn't do it today, or you did most of it, or our goal obviously is all of it. But if that doesn't happen, that's not the end of the world. So anyway, these are the things, as you know, that we need to do. So, you know, do them. Set your timer. Don't get hung up on one or the other. Something I did want to talk about is that in number 2, it says initiate connections and add followers. And as a new coach, I think this is one of the most important parts, because you don't want to just fire invitations to people that don't know you well or that you haven't talked to since you saw them in kindergarten. You do need to start working on a friendship first. You don't have to wait forever before you can ask, but just be mindful, go to their page, make sure, you know, something tragic didn't just happen and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you want to be in my fitness group and their dog just died or something worse. So take a quick peek at their Facebook page, but make it quick and don't get sucked into the scroll. So you got to like be very businesslike in that friendship development. I mean, otherwise you'll waste all of your time. So quickly, if I want to invite Renee and I haven't seen her for a couple years, I'm going to go to Renee's page, do a couple quick scrolls, like, comment, and then make sure she's on my list, and then go back maybe 2 days later, same thing again, like, comment, and then maybe send a private message like, you know, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you for so long, and we live kind of close together, or we have the same dog, or whatever it is. So start to cultivate friendships. It sounds like a cold, impersonal thing to do, but it's just not, because it does develop true friendships. You know, true friendships. So it's the way our business works. It's important to do that. So I think that first step on number 2 is a very important step, especially since you're fairly new. So spend some time making connections. Is there anything else on this tracker, Lindsay, you think that we should highlight?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. I did a group with Josh Coates a year or so ago, and something that he said was within 3 to 5 interactions, that's plenty of time to start inviting. Like once you've had a few conversations, you've made connections, and you keep it super simple. Hey, I'm doing this thing. You want to join me? Like, let's hang out. Because they're either going to say yes or no. So you got a 50% chance right off the bat that they're going to be like, sure, tell me more about it. So just know that going in, you got a 50-50 chance. But if you don't ask, it's always 100% no. And I'm always shocked by who says, yes, tell me more. Okay, I'm glad I asked, or else it would have been an automatic no.
Another thing on that, you have to really get kind of a tough skin and realize that if they ignore you, it doesn't mean that they're mad at you. They're not judging you. It means nothing. It has nothing in the world to do with you and everything to do with whatever situation they're in. Either they're too busy or they're not ready or they didn't see the text to begin with. They're busy. They've totally forgot about it.
And they are watching you hardcore after that.
Yeah, for sure they're watching. So it's really easy. And I hear from you guys, oh, I asked her. She said no. Like, okay, that's okay. That just means she's going to say yes next February. So, just, it's really hard. Trust me, it's really hard. And you like start to shake and sweat and feel embarrassed that you even asked them and go through all those weird insecure emotions that we go through. It has nothing to do with you. It's just that they're not ready, and that's cool. That's good. And then check back next month and the next and the next and the next, and eventually they'll go, thanks so much for sticking with me. I'm finally ready now.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could, I'm hoping that that our small group, will get very close. And I would like for you all to support each other on social media. So I'm not sure if it's true or if it's still relevant, but supposedly Instagram likes when you get 5 words as a comment under your post. So we need to not just say, if Sammy posts something, I don't want to just type great. I want to type, you're doing an amazing job, Sammy. Something where you get 5 words in. Because Instagram will push that out more, I guess, if you get like a meaningful comment from people. So if you have time, check on our little group and help to push our posts up. Same thing with stories. I don't know if it really matters if you watch the stories, but I'm guessing that it does. And Instagram will like us and make our posts somehow get out there magically. I don't know how that works. So on your social media, you need to post at least 3 or maybe 3 and not like all your workout, but about 3 clips of your workout and normal everyday life every day. And I think it's also helpful to post results from our team. And even if some of your customers haven't gotten a before and after yet or haven't gotten a result yet, you have, so share that. And everyone on our team, I think, is fair game to share because you guys have all been a part of our team and all made that work. Whether they're your personal customer or not, that doesn't matter. We do need to be careful to get permission before we post something about someone else, but feel free to use those results. You can use Lindsay, you can use me, you can use Kelly, or anybody on Team Synergy or anybody on our team. You can use all those because we're all here to help each other. Hi, Robin.
Hey, Robin.
So I think it's really helpful when people see different types of ages, sizes, experiences, before and afters. They don't have to be a physical transformation, but if you get a text from someone that says, you really inspire me, take a screenshot of it, cross out their name and share it. Or leave their name on if they're comfortable with that. And honestly, I don't ask permission. If I cross the name out, I don't ask permission. I just use it. Because
Yeah, and something else I've been doing recently is asking my challengers to tag me in their stories so that I can share them. That just makes it so much easier for me that I'm not screenshotting things, and you being tagged in things also gets you seen more. So, and whenever anybody shares something of mine, I make sure to post it right back in my story. And and I've gotten a lot more engagement that way because people like to be shouted out. They do. People like to be celebrated. So, and it's fun to do. It's fun to highlight my challengers. They think it's really cool.
That's a great idea. If you guys post a coaching post or a transformation post, tag a bunch of us so we can share it to our stories. And you can hide the tag.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to stick it behind a picture or make it little teeny tiny and move it to the side, make it the same color as something else, you can hide it in there, but then at least it is easier for us to share. That's a great idea. I love that. Okay. Something that you might do is find a coach out there in the world that is you, or a coach that uses words like you would, someone that you relate to, and follow them and just steal their stuff. You know, start the screenshot what they've done, use their words, and you retype it and put it on top of your face instead of their face. Because that's how this all works.
So a good example of this earlier is Elisa's like, hey, can I steal your story from today and just put my picture over it? I was like, yes, steal everything that I have. Steal it, put your stuff on there.
That's so funny. I mean, there's no reason to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
So find a Beachbody coach that's very successful and just steal. They don't care and we don't care and they won't notice anyway because they're too busy with their own money. Okay. Also, those of you who have customers, coach them. Reach out to them. When they post in our page, answer them. Don't leave it up to me to answer them. Answer them. Message them. Check on them all the time. Maybe you do. I don't know. I just put that on my list of things. Make sure that you are on top of it. Okay. So here are some things that we're hoping from you. We want to know your goals, your coaching goals. And I think you need to write them down, share them in our group, and share them with your family because they have to support you on this. If you're going to be on a Zoom call from 9 to 9:30 and you're not climbing into bed with them or you're not participating in family with them, you need them to support you on that. Maybe watch the kids for you or take care, clean up after dinner or whatever it is, but they need to support you. So you've got to tell them your goals. It helps so much to get your family on board because when they realize the potential and how life-changing this will be for you, they will help you. And all of a sudden you're, like Sammy, maybe your parents are going to go, hey, wait, you know, I saw this person today. You need to contact them. Or Harry's constantly on Facebook, every day, like, oh, don't forget this person. Because he scrolls Facebook. I don't have time to do that. So your family can be your eyes and ears for you. And maybe they know someone at work who could use your help. So tell them your goals. But we are going to ask you to share your goals in our group. And then we need to design a plan so that your actions will get you to your goal. Because it's great to have a goal, but if you don't actually work for it, then you're not going to get there. We already have asked for your business hours, and some of you responded. So that's awesome. I know Renee and Sammy and Elisa put their work hours on there, and maybe some of you have since I checked that. So put your work hours when you plan to work, and then don't forget to schedule time when you plan not to work, because you don't want to be glued to your phone at all hours of the time. You know, if it goes off, eventually it'll go off often enough that you're going to have to learn to ignore it sometimes too. So set that plan. I don't want you to plan like 8 hours in a day. That's not realistic. Like little 15 minutes. I know Renee was very specific, like certain days she's going to work during her lunch hours, certain days she's going to work a different time of day. So realize you're not going to work every single lunch hour. That's not realistic. But a couple times a week, for sure, you can do that. So think about that. When you're home with your family or your husband or your friends, then you're not at work. So make sure that doesn't creep into your personal life, because that can be a disaster. I was also thinking about When I was thinking about the goals that you've set versus the amount of effort that you're putting into that, and there are some women in this group who desperately need this as an income. So let's think, if you're in that desperate situation, then if you had to get a second job at Pizza King, then you're going to have to go to Pizza King at a certain time, and it's going to invade your life in a big way. Or wherever you might get a part-time job to make the extra money. Then you don't have a time freedom. You don't have the ability to do this in the little cracks of your day. And then you're going to have to get babysitters, all those things. So I want you to think about making this a priority. Maybe you don't feel like getting on a Zoom call from 9 to 9:30 or trying to get through this whole thing. But if you need it and you want this to work, you have to make it a priority. Because I don't want you to have to go get a job at Jay's. I want you to be able to do this where you can help people and make a difference in your life. And
they do need help right now.
Yes, they do. They need a lot of help.
More than $9 or $10 an hour and not be locked into a time schedule that stinks. So when this seems like a struggle and it seems like you don't want to put the time into it, just remember how flexible and how amazing this is. I worked several hours today out on the boat. I mean, what more could you ask for? Okay. Okay, we got 10 minutes. You guys be brave and be bold. That's probably the biggest thing. You just have to get on your big girl panties and send a message. And even if you're nervous and you're sweating, just be brave because you are worth it. This will change your life beyond measure. It will change your relationships. It will change your financial picture. It'll change your body. It'll change your mind. So be brave and go after it because we all deserve to have success in this business and we all can have it. There is no one better than you. There is no one better than you. There are people who need me as a coach, who need Lindsay as a coach, who need Renee as a coach. There's people who need all of us. Doesn't matter where you are in the process. There are even people that need a Lisa. I mean, probably somewhere. Right? No matter what your circumstance, don't ever doubt, well, oh, but I'm not. Oh, but I'm not this. Exactly. There are people out there that need you. So be brave and just go after it. Ask us for help. If you get in a conversation and you don't know what to ask, like somebody said, you don't know whether to offer morning meltdown or all the 100 different million options we have, send us a screenshot. Send it to Lindsay, send it to me, put it in our group all at the same time, like somebody SOS, right now help. And one of us will see it and respond to you and help you know what to say next, because it can be a little hard. Especially once it gets to the nitty gritty, like how do I ask them if they want to coach? How do I, and you need to be a little careful once you get close to the end, not to lose them with confusion. So let us help you.
Yeah, and going along with it being brave too, one of the biggest shifts in my business was starting to meet with somebody via Zoom call instead of just texting back and forth. Hey, do you have time to video chat? Or sending voice messages back and forth. That is powerful to share your voice with somebody and they can hear your actual enthusiasm and see how excited you are. I've never had anyone tell me no when I get on face to face with them. It makes it more real, like you're a real person. This affects your real life. There's something really powerful. Now, I was scared out of my wits the first time I did it, but that coach is still with me 2 years later, and the very first one that I did. And after that, it just became easy, and people are always like, same thing with live videos. You guys have got to get on live. People have to hear your voice and see your face and hear your expressions. They need that. It's how they connect with you. Like people are always like, oh, I don't want to take selfies. I don't either. I don't want people to see my wrinkles and my gray hair. But if I think about the people that I follow on social media, it's the people who I hear their voice and I see their family and I feel like I know them. But if they didn't do the videos and post the selfies, I would not have that connection with them. So I can't just post inspirational quotes all the time and hope to connect with somebody. They need to see me and hear me. And there's people I don't know who are like, oh, how's Bailey doing in cross country? I'm like, I don't even know who you are. But because I share my family and I like people feel like they know me. And that's what messages always start with. It's like, hey, how did that go in your classroom today? And I was like, how did they even know that? But it's because I talked about it in my story and people are following your story. They follow you like you are BFFs because they think you are sometimes. But you like they connect with the authentic version of you. So put yourself out there.
It also kind of cuts out that misinterpretation of a text. If it sounds salesy, or especially once you get down to say, but we offer this discount, sometimes it's just easier to leave a message and just say, this is kind of confusing, but here's how it works. And if you like stumble over your words, that's fine, because you would do that in real life too. And you can even say, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let me try that again. You know, if you have to. And usually you have the option to like exit out and not let it send anyway, unless you're video chatting. My main goal here was to see everyone's face, first of all, but to pump you up, to make you realize how worth it you are and how valuable you are to the people whose lives you're going to change. Right?
We belong here.
This is
You belong here.
You do belong
Yes.
here. You can sit with us. Yeah.
So what's your number one fear?
Or thing that you're most excited about.
Go ahead, Sammy.
Inviting terrifies me.
Because what are you worried about?
Because at least with people my age, there is such this like stigma about people who do, you know, like it works. That's the only one I can think of, but like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so it's like if I reach out to people, like, I mean, like in my post the other day, they're like, oh, you're one of those girls. And then it's like, part of me wants to explain myself to them, but part of me is like, I don't owe you a damn thing, so I'm not telling you anything.
What if you address that in your stories? Like, this, I'm not one of those girls. This really is life-changing. It's something you do forever. I don't know. It's not about eyelashes. It's about being healthy inside your body.
Yeah, no quick fixes, no magic pills. It's good nutrition, showing up for yourself in your workouts every day, and having success. And not having to like find the latest and greatest thing that the next Joe Schmo is selling. Beachbody's been around for 20 years for a reason. I have the VHS tapes to prove it from college. Like, there's a reason that they're a $1 billion company. They're tried and true. They're not going anywhere.
So what can we do to help you get over that biting fear? Because it's real. It is. I think you just have to suck up and just do it and send a whole bunch.
Yeah. And like I've noticed myself, I go through phases where it's like sometimes I'll do really good where it's like I'll invite 5 people every day for a week, and then I'm like, oh God, nobody replied to anything. I'm done. I'm never doing this again.
Right.
And then it's like I cycle back and I'm like, I'm gonna do this every day, and then I'm like, I'm never doing this again. So I just need to like be consistent about it.
And what you need to realize is that everyone, Ashley Molstead down to us, sends 5 invites a day and no one responds.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's not you. And that's hard for all of us to realize. It's not you. It's just not you.
Yeah, Melanie Mitro, who was the top coach for years, she just talked about this the other day. She was like, I send out 100 invites a day sometimes. She's like, I might get 2 responses. But on other days, I might get 30 or 40. She's like, you just don't know. It really is just being consistent. And I love, she says, show up as the Olympic version of yourself. Olympians can't take a day off or they can't compete. So if you show up as the Olympic version of yourself as a coach every day, it just becomes part of the process. She's like, you know, that fear of inviting goes right out the window because it just is part of your routine. Just like you made workout a routine, just like you made eating healthy a routine. Send those invites first thing, get them done, and go on with your day.
There's in the Beachbody Champions units, in Unit 3, there's a video. Her name's Keisha something. I can't remember her last name. That's Fitzgerald?
Keisha Fitzgerald. It's not the other. It's not Kim Fitz.
Okay,
Kim Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. So it's Keisha. She's like the second or third video down in Unit 3 about inviting. I just love her. I love her. She's very genuine. But that would be helpful to you, Sammy. Unit 3 is packed full of training videos. The other tells you how to use share a card and like more functional things. But Unit 3 gets to like the heart of it. So if you haven't watched Unit 3 or if you haven't watched it for a while, go to Beachbody Champions page and watch all those videos. They're all, I think they must have asked them to keep it at like 8 minutes because almost all of them are like 8, 9, 10 minutes. So they're pretty easy to knock out. And you don't have to be watching. You can listen while you're driving or whatever. I know, Sammy, you need to go to bed because you're going to show up on my doorstep at 6:45 in the morning.
Yes,
Okay. So any last minute, 1 minute, comments, questions, cheerleading, anything? Can we get a picture? So smile, lean in. Ready? Okay, got some. So tag each other in our stories so that we can share them. And let's get it because you deserve it. And we're gonna lock arms and make some dang money. Period.
Exclamation point.
Yeah. And, you know, change lives too, but let's make money. That's where my head is. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I can't wait for this group. Okay, bye.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.